All right, so this is going to be attempt number 2 at calling. He texted me back and said he needed an hour to do the talk. I told him I couldn't do 3 because I have my MAP mentorship program that we run through Serial Entrepreneur Academy. So I'm going to attempt to call him now and do the call with him.
Hello, this is Ben.
Hey, Ben, it's Jordan. How's it going?
Good, Jordan. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm going. It has been a crazy day, but it's always good when it's a little crazy. Makes it go by a little quicker.
No, I hear you. It's been crazy down here, too.
Yeah, I bet. Figured that's why you had to push back a little bit, but that's no problem at all.
Yeah, no, I apologize about that. I was just caught in between something else.
Oh, no problem, man. Seriously.
I didn't want to shove you off, but
no. Hey, no,
right now, so.
No problem, man. Not a problem at all. So just I guess kind of, I don't really know what Jamie told you about me other than the fact that obviously I run a marketing agency, but I'll go ahead. The way this call will kind of work, do you have about 30 to 45 minutes to talk?
Yes.
Okay, cool. The way this is going to work is I'm going to talk to you, just give you a little brief overview of what I do, my experience, things like that. I'm going to ask you, after that, I'm going to ask you several questions, about 15 to 20 questions, so I can get a better understanding of your business. And then after that, I've already done a lot of preliminary research on your company and put together a little bit. But what I'd like to do is then eventually set a secondary meeting where I'm going to put together an audit, and I'll even put together a proposal based on the audit that I've put together. The audit I'll include for free because I really want to work with you guys. And that audit will give you a bunch of what, even if you decide not to go with my agency for some reason, it'll give you a guide as to what you can do or who you might need to hire to get those things taken care of.
Okay.
So
I'm going to put you on speakerphone.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
That way, my wife's my business partner, but she's here with me right now. And
sure.
She can listen to what you're saying as well. Okay.
Sure. That's perfectly fine.
Okay.
And Ben, what's your wife's name?
Okay. This is Tammy. She's here too.
Tammy?
Hey, how are you? Hey.
Hey, Tammy. Nice to meet you. How are you?
Oh, you sound just like Garrett.
No, he sounds like me. I'm older.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. So did Ben kind of tell you what this call is going to kind of look like?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and start off by doing a brief intro of me. Essentially what I do is I run online marketing campaigns. I've been involved in this industry for a little over 10 years. I got a lot of my experience back when Facebook was first coming out with the I've been a Facebook business manager and ads manager since it first launched back in 2007, I think 2008. I always forget what year, but, and I did that doing it for some of the companies that I ran in college. And then the companies that I ran once I got out of college. After I got out of college, I actually took a job at a major marketing agency down in Jacksonville, through Gannett. I'm sure you're familiar with Gannett. Yep, because I know they have a location down there right in Cocoa or somewhere over there near there.
It's right in Palm Shore.
Do you know Julie Lusk?
No, I don't. That doesn't ring a bell to me.
Okay. She's been around that area for a long time because she's one of the VPs that works there. But anyways, so I got a job through Gannett, and I really got exposed to the online marketing world and even just traditional marketing world. I did so well there that I wanted to get a promotion, but I was so young that they were like, no, you're not experienced enough yet. So I said, well, screw it. I'll just go back to Atlanta, do my own thing. Since then, I've started a YouTube channel. We now have over 100,000 followers and subscribers. We have over 5,000 students in my online training programs. And what I actually teach people is how to start a successful marketing agency. So, not to really toot my own horn, I don't really like to do that, but it goes to What was that?
I said your dad does it enough.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he does. Well, I really am passionate about online marketing, and I truly know what I'm talking about. That's why I'm asked to go and speak at large marketing conferences. UGA, University of Georgia, asked me to speak at their school last year to their whole marketing department. I just really love the industry. And so I love working with businesses and showing them the real way that their online marketing should be working. And so that's why I wanted to have this conversation with you, is to go over, some of the things that I've already found that can instantly start getting you to get more clients very, very quickly if you were to make these adjustments. Okay. But before we get into that, again, I want to ask some questions about your business and about your goals, both of your goals, with regards to where you see Can-Am going in the future. So first question is, what are your goals for the next 5 years? Where do you see Can-Am in the next 5 years?
So we are a very strong local. I want to keep that sort of mentality.
Right.
That means, when I say local, I mean here in Rockledge or whatever, but that doesn't mean I won't go an hour way to do work.
Sure.
So and that even means, and I think we can service that out of this office that we have here. But if we had open a small satellite office, we could do that too.
Right.
What I want to do is become one of these companies that is running 7-8 hours away, can't handle whatever workload we get when we do that.
Right.
So I don't want to get so big that we can't handle it.
Okay. Don't want to get too big geographically, basically.
Correct.
Okay.
And there's enough work within a 90-minute geographical direction, except we can't go east because we'd be in the ocean, but north, south, and west, that I think that'll sustain us for forever.
Sure. So essentially, you want to be a big time roofing company in your regional areas. And when I say regional, I mean the region of Florida that you're in, but you don't care to really go to like Georgia or other states and break out that far. You'll make enough money doing what you're doing there, right?
No interest in doing that.
Okay, gotcha. And that's why that's important for me to know, just to get an idea of what your plans are with the business. And that really kind of shapes what the marketing plan, because we don't just look at what we're going to do this month and next month. We look at what is the plan going to be and how can that plan build to be a 5-year plan, 10-year plan that's sustainable over that time.
Right.
So next question, what does your business do that no one else can? Obviously, what makes you different than everybody else?
So locally here, I think we've got a company that deals with insurance claims. And our salespeople are very, very well trained to take from A to Z and make it work for the homeowner and make it work for the company, and then we produce the work. So that is like okay, where we are. I think we're the other company out here, and there'll be some other companies that say that too. But I feel like our guys are to really educate the homeowner, guide the homeowner, and then our office will do everything they can to get the funds in from the insurance company, and then we produce good quality work.
Okay. So your guys actually talk to the insurance reps a lot of the time for the homeowner, so they don't even have to worry about that?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I could see how that could be super valuable.
We make, because it's easier for us to sell a job if we're getting the money.
Right.
The insurance.
Sure. I could imagine. And that's what I was actually talking, with Garrett about, was I was like, I've talked to other roofers in other states and they're like, dude, our average project job is like $3,000. And then I talked to them and they're like, yeah, we're closing jobs at $24,000, $30,000, $150,000. I'm like, wow, it's completely different in Florida compared to a lot of other states. And I know that's a lot to do with like hurricanes and things like that. So there's insurance to cover those matters.
Oh, we got hail, we have hurricanes, we have wind.
Right.
But that's exactly the target customer.
Right. Exactly. That makes sense. And that's actually one of my questions. So we'll get to that in a second, but I figured that's who it was, the people who were affected through weather damage. So next question is, are there any opportunities that you think exist in the marketplace currently that you're not taking advantage of, or are there ones that you could be taking advantage of that you wish you were now, but you're not currently?
So what I would tell you on that is I think we've exhausted a lot of the opportunities or avenues that were presented to us via weather. There's some stuff with new construction, but I'm very hesitant on new construction because of market reform.
Right.
So I don't want to extend ourselves and be out money for 90 days, and I'm talking like hundreds of thousands out 90 days on new construction. So I'm real cautious with that. So I think our target is pretty good as far as what we're doing, as far as what we're targeting. The only issue with us is that we're very much so storm or weather dependent. And when you don't have a weather event, you might get flow a little bit, you know?
Sure. And that's the thing. I think, and Jamie and Garrett were mentioning this earlier, that they think that potentially, things like Daytona, Orlando, Melbourne, there could be more business opportunities there that aren't currently being taken advantage of. Would you agree?
I would totally agree with that. We need to expand, but we also need to make sure that the work we're doing is being supervised the right way.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
the further you go away, the harder it is to keep your thumb on the pulse.
Right. To maintain quality.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
We're doing way better at that now. And we've only had a handful of issues, quality stuff that didn't go the right way.
Sure.
And we've done 700 jobs in the last 20 months. So, to have 4 or 5 jobs that are not great, then you're doing fine.
Yeah, totally. You said 700 jobs in 20 months?
Yeah, it's like right there, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of jobs. That's awesome, though. So do me a favor. Tell me what your ideal customer is like. And then also, on top of telling me what they're like, why do you like working with that specific person?
Okay, so there's a couple different answers to that.
Okay.
On a day-to-day basis, best customer is the homeowner that lives in country. Are you familiar with this area?
Of course.
Okay. So the homeowner lives in Suntree or Oysters, Beachside, East Atlantic, got a roof that's worth $65,000. Lets us run the entire insurance claim.
Okay.
All they do is pay their deductible, and then I get everything else from the. That is your perfect customer.
Okay.
All right, and then we'll run 40% profit on that 65 grand.
That's awesome.
So that is your perfect customer. Now, the other customer that when we just got done with doing a job like this is a condo complex it's worth $3 million and lets us run that entire claim.
And when you do something like that, are you doing all of the condos in that complex?
Yes.
Okay, so these are like homeowners associations via condo.
Correct. So the homeowners association carries the insurance on it.
Right.
So they just come in and run the entire claim. And again, all they're doing is paying their deductible, which usually it's about 5 to 10 grand on a $3 million deal. And they let us go if we need a supplement, which means go back and get more money, if something's not seen. Those are the customers we want. And I know we're not always going to get them, but that's what we want.
Right. And that's important to understand because the condo complex is completely different. That's the one guy who runs the HOA probably, and then whether they have funding or not, right?
Yeah, it's a committee. So there's usually like 8 to 10 people.
Okay.
But 3 decision makers, and there's 3 people that can sign off on contracts.
Okay.
But you're going to get those once every 15 months.
Okay.
So the day-to-day stuff is what we want is the $65,000 roof that we can make 25 grand on.
What percentage of business would you say that is for your business? Like how much of that revenue that you're generating is that type of customer?
Well, it's cyclical, so it goes in cycles.
Okay.
Right now, we're digging out jobs because we just went through a massive hailstorm, and a lot of the work in this area was completed. So right now, I would say 30% is that customer that we absolutely want. But in high time, I'm saying 75%.
So in peak periods.
In peak periods, it's about 75%.
Okay. Cool. All right. And then obviously weather customers is just that big group of everybody. But I guess when you talk about people who have issues because of weather, let's say, what would be a low end roof? Like 15, 20 grand?
No, probably
10. 10? Okay.
Yeah.
And those are the jobs you prefer to do. Obviously the profit margin's lower maybe not the profit margin, but the amount of money you make per job is less because it's a roof of lesser value.
correct. And there's fixed costs that go into a roof that's 10 grand or a roof that's 30 grand. It's the same fixed cost.
Okay.
It'll go up and down a little bit on the administration, but some like permit fees and dumpsters and different things, those costs stay the same whether you're doing a $10,000 roof or a $30,000 roof.
Gotcha. Okay. That's important to know too, because yeah, that definitely makes those higher end jobs way more valuable then. All right. So what is the average customer worth to your business at the end of the day when it's all said and done? What is the average job cost? And then what is the average profit number that you hit per customer?
So I want to run 40%. It doesn't always hit 40%, but it should. Now, when you say the average, you can't really do an average only because every contract is different.
Okay. So
it's hard to sort of, categorize that in that sense. Because like I said, like we just talked about, you're going to have a job that's 10 grand that you're going to have $3,000 in fixed costs in no matter what.
Sure.
Then you're going to have a job that's 30,000 that has the same 3,000 fixed cost in.
Okay.
So it's kind of hard to sort of do it that way.
I think what we can look at is the fact that you said 75% of the companies when you're in your peak season are around $65,000 a roof. 10% of that is 6,500 times 4 is about 26 grand. 26 to 28 grand. So I think that would probably be a good starting point, at least to because again, I think you're completely right. It can range. I mean, Garrett's told me about a roof that costs like $120,000, $150,000 and dude paid out of pocket for the roof. But then you're telling me there's roofs that are, on average 65 grand or can be 10 grand. So yeah, there's a wide range there.
There's no set number.
Right.
This is not a perfect science, never has been.
Sure.
So that's why I'm just kind of trying to give you a gauge of the number.
Sure. No, I appreciate that. All of that's super helpful. And the reason why is I even if it is not possible to really get an average, which I completely understand, we like to at least try to project what that might be. And then the data will actually tell us once we start running a campaign or once we start to really track the data that we're actually receiving from these customers, we'll be able to at least narrow down what that average sort of looks like. And again, like you said, not always going to be completely accurate, but having those numbers to at least speculate from kind of helps.
It's a game. It's definitely it's a barometer.
Sure. All right. So we're going to go through some of the customer profile stuff. What is the age of the average age of a customer? And it can be a range.
From anywhere from 40 to 55.
40 to 55. All right.
Maybe, I would even say 40 to 60.
Okay. And would you say that it's more the wives or females reaching out, or is it more men reaching out?
I would say that's 50-50.
50-50? Okay. Income level, I'm guessing probably around 150 household.
Or better.
150?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it wouldn't be under that.
Right. 150K plus. Occupational status, are these like executives? Are they business owners or just, everyday employees that make decent amounts of money?
Most of the people that we deal with are business owners, or they work at NASA, or they're educated. We have a lot of, just to kind of back that up, we have a lot of police officers, teachers, people that we deal with too, homes, and those should be about, 15 to 20.
Okay.
But those are important customers too.
Sure. Do you guys offer, some type of incentive program to police officers and teachers?
We do.
Okay. That's cool. Incentives offered. Would you say mostly married or single?
Most people we deal with are married.
Okay. Then if you can, I know obviously Rockledge, Cocoa, you said, what were the other areas?
Okay, so if you have Google Maps up or anything?
Give me 1 second, I can pull it up.
So I can tell you the areas that we're targeting.
Sure.
All right, so obviously Rockledge, Melbourne, Satellite Beach, Indian Harbor,
Satellite,
Yeah.
Indian. Okay. You said Melbourne's in there too?
Yeah, like the city of Melbourne.
Right.
Titusville.
Yep.
Did I say Coco?
I've got Coco on there already. I figured.
Now, what I'd like to do is do Daytona.
Okay.
So anything from Daytona south. So that's Ormond Beach, that's New Smyrna, that's Port Orange.
Right. Right.
Anything south Daytona, and then even Port St. Lucie, the building terrible to work with, but that's all right.
Right.
And then anything over in Orlando too. So Lake Mary, Sanford.
Pretty much the whole entire area of Orlando.
Yeah, like so I would do. So if I did it in counties, it would be Orange, Seminole, Osceola, Brevard, Volusia, Indian River, and Martin. So that's like 5. River I just rattled off.
Okay. You said Orange, Osceola, Brevard, Volusia, Indian River, and Martin. Did you say one more?
Yeah. No, that's it.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Seminole.
Seminole. That's the one I missed. I was about to say, I feel like I missed one. Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah, between all that, I mean, that's millions of people right there. So
Yeah.
like,
That's a massive area. And if you include Daytona in that too, it gets even bigger.
correct. So I don't think we have to.
So, and the way, just to kind of clue you in, I like to know this information because, again, we do more of a 5-year plan when it comes to a marketing campaign. So, like you said, just the counties that you listed, even if we stuck to the Melbourne area, Coco, obviously, or Brevard County, excuse me. I've got a little bit of allergies going on in the fall. Yeah, those areas that we would start with have tons of people to start with before we even break into, North Orlando. We would probably start with South Orlando first and then break up into Daytona, but like Titusville's in there too. But it's good to know because it's good to start with a plan, get traction, and then once we get traction with those areas, implement the same strategy that we implemented with those areas that are receiving traction to the newer areas that you want to spread to. So it's kind of, so it's kind of, I'm sorry, what?
We'll stay close to home to start.
Yeah.
But the one thing, so if we, do business together, the one thing as my marketing person, what I would want you to do is you need to keep track of this weather. So when a storm hits or windstorm, wind event, hail event, hurricane, you're on that thing. And trust me, I'll let you know.
Right.
But that's going to be active reason why we market a certain area.
Sure. And that's actually good to know because what we could do is we can create campaigns ahead of time that are just pretty much already templated out for a specific instance, like, hail or hurricane or, a bad storm, whatever. And we can create campaigns that we can, as soon as something happens, we know what areas we're going to target or potentially could target. We set up the campaigns, get those running as soon as we are aware that storm or whatever is about to happen comes through. So that way, again, you're ahead of the game. That's actually really smart. I like that.
So yeah, and that's going to be our target. I mean, and then there's going to be other marketing guys in there doing the same exact thing for roofing companies or whatever. But
right.
We can. And then the other thing too is, so my cousin does our Facebook stuff, and I'm not getting rid of her. So she's going to stay on. So, but I don't even know, that's going to interrupt what you're trying to do at all.
No. So the one thing I did see, like when I was doing research, Facebook's not a problem. Is she running ad campaigns on Facebook?
No.
Okay.
No.
So she's just managing posting.
Yeah, that's all she's doing.
Okay. So that's the only thing we would want to be able to help with is the ads management side of things. And really, we wouldn't even use it as a cold traffic marketing platform. We would actually use it for remarketing. So people who are visiting your website, one of the biggest reasons why businesses don't get those deals is because they're not following up properly with people who haven't made or taken an action yet. So just because I look at your roofing website doesn't mean I'm ready to take action and set the appointment yet, because I'm probably still in the shopping phase, right? So our job with Facebook, as far as ads are concerned, is and that's, a dedicated budget that only goes to people who visit your website, Our job is to make sure that your roofing company is the one that's staying in front of their face. So that way, when they do decide to make that decision, they know who to call. It's just like, a good example I like to give people is it's like how Trump won the election back when he won.
That worked, everybody.
Yeah, he had more ads running. He was in everybody's face. Everybody knew who he was. So when it comes time for you to vote, if you don't know the other guy, you're probably going to end up voting for Trump because he was in your face. He has one of the most genius marketing studies ever done around his campaign because of how he ran it and how he decided to target people. We like to apply the same mentality to businesses and their customers. We want to follow those people around. I'm sure you've been to a website where you went there and then not even 4 seconds later, you're on Facebook and you see an ad from the same company.
No, of course.
Yeah, that's essentially what we do through, that's actually one of my questions. What is like the sales cycle like for a customer of yours?
So because we're dealing with a roof that's got a 15-year warranty on it, they're not rebuying every 5 years.
Sure.
Unless or hurricane or whatever.
Sure.
What they are doing is saying, hey, Can-Am did our roof to their neighbor. And Can-Am did a fantastic job.
Right.
So that's more so that's going to go further than like they're not buying a car every 5 years.
Of course. So I guess here, let's look at it like this. From the time that they actually have the incident happen with their home, how long does it take them from that point to decide on a roofing contractor to go with? 3 days, 5 days, a week?
I would say longer than that, only because when there's a weather event, there's some cleanup involved.
Sure.
So I would even think before they sign a contract, let's say a hailstorm hits March 27th of 2019.
Right.
I think that they may actually know who they're going to use, but I don't think a contract gets signed because you have to have an adjuster come out. You got to get your settlement from your insurance company. I'm thinking 6 weeks.
6 weeks? So would you be comfortable to say 4 to 6 weeks so we can have a range?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, we can talk to people who are saying that we're going to be the contractor.
Okay.
It's called E, with assignment of benefits. But, or we can sign something called insurance authorization, saying that Can-Am is going to do the work once this gets a contingency.
Gotcha. Okay.
So once the claim is settled, Can-Am is the contractor. But before, I would say 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay. That's good to know, because the way we look at that data is we understand, okay, if an incident does happen, we want those top of funnel, cold traffic ads out there running to people who might not know who Can-Am is, or maybe, they're doing some shopping. So my job is then to say, okay, what we do is our job is to drive them to that website. But again, they might not know who they want to go with yet. So what we want to do is that's where Facebook remarketing comes in and says, all right, so we're going to follow these people around. Our primary audience that we're going to target is people who have visited the website within the last 4 to 6 weeks. And we're going to do special offers. If you guys have an offer that you provide, and this is just an example, but for a discount or something like that, we'll throw that in front of them. We're going to throw testimonials of your customers in front of them, because that's what they need to be convinced to go with you guys.
Yeah, so that's key. The testimonials are key, but you got to remember that our focus is not to put a price tag on what we're doing.
Of course.
Because the insurance company is setting that number, and we're gonna negotiate with the insurance company.
Sure.
Okay, so what we want to do is get in front of people, get our people in front of people, because we will sell. That's what we do.
Okay.
And then these people trust us. So it's not saying, oh, we're going to discount your roof, we're going to do this or that. Get us in front of you, and then we'll handle your claim. And I know it's a stretch, because trust me, the 45-year-old white guy wants to handle his own money. I get it.
Yeah.
But we're very good at kind of sidestepping that process and taking over the claim.
Sure. And I totally get what you're saying, because you're focused more on the customer service is really where you guys provide value. And I guess that's what I meant by offer, is we can create an offer around the fact that we literally will talk to the insurance company. We're going to take you through the entire process. We're going to educate you. That is a valuable offer to sell people. So, and again, like I was saying, the discount is just an example, but that can be something that we will use primarily testimonials, obviously, but then second,
Testimonials are huge.
sure. And then also what you said is very valuable, because I don't want to talk to an insurance adjuster. I don't want, or the insurance claim people. I don't want to deal with the money. So I just want my roof to get fixed. Right. And so that's, an offer in and of itself. Just the fact that you guys provide that much or that detailed amount of customer service is going to be super valuable for those customers. So that's good to know. All right. A couple, promise you this won't take too much longer. Is there seasonality to the business? Like what is that like? Like what are your peak seasons?
Well, hurricane season is busy.
What are the months for hurricane season?
June 30th to November 30th.
Okay.
And then spring's busy too. And you have all your thunderstorms, go anywhere from February, March, April.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah, so in Florida, there's it's pretty much 12-month year.
Yeah, I was about to say, we pretty much just left out January, February, and December.
Otherwise, we're really slow.
Yeah, we don't really have a slowdown.
Okay, good to know. Let's see. What issues or pain points do you currently have with what you're trying to do with your business? What's stopping you guys from reaching that next level that you want to be at with your business?
We're actually pretty content where we're at. But we always want to get a little more profitable and a little, not bigger, but just more sales. So we're currently trying to hire more sales guys and actually he's training those guys right now.
Right.
To answer that question, I don't know. I just think with more education for our salespeople, it's very, very much for what we're doing and how we're going to make money.
Sure. And those are things that, again, even though it's not related to marketing, that's, important for me to know. It's not really what we do the most of. We're primarily marketing, but we are very, very familiar with optimizing processes, SOPs, operations, sales training, things like that. So, there might be something where we could provide some insight or some input in the future.
Okay. No, it's good. And like I said, if we're going to do business together, you need to know exactly what I need and what I want.
Of course. And that's the only way I think a marketing to business owner relationship really works. Because if I don't completely understand your goals, it's never going to work. Right. And if I don't provide the result that you're looking for, you're definitely not going to stick around for a long time. And obviously that's my goal.
No.
So what questions are you asked all the time from customers or employees? Like what do customers ask you the most, or what do employees ask you the most about the entire process?
So from a customer standpoint, time frame, deductible is a huge thing, because when we go to meet with a customer and we say, listen, we're going to get this thing approved for you, we're going to meet with your adjuster, they want to know their bottom line. Right. And their neighbor just got a $27,000 roof, $500.
Right.
So that stuff and then we got to combat that saying, listen, we don't control your deductible.
Sure.
We can help, with advertising and this and that. But we got to be careful with that too, because it's illegal to cover deductibles.
Right.
So you never advertise or market, we're going to cover your deductible. And guys go to jail over this.
Yeah, my dad's told me a lot about that. He's mentioned how some of the shadier roofing companies will do that type of thing.
They'll put right on their yard signs, we will cover your deductible, free roof. And people do go to jail, especially in the state.
I bet.
So, because it's illegal, it's fraud.
Okay.
But that's, to answer your question, dollars and cents are the biggest questions. So
sure.
What's it going to cost me?
Okay, good to know. What do your customers need to know about you? And I think actually we can probably just skip that question, because you've told me what you guys do, and what's important to you is that they know that you are focused on customer service, that you guys guide them through the entire process. You're not going to do anything shady or illegal, and I think that's probably what you would say that you want them to know about you as well, right?
Also, local.
And local. Yep. You mentioned that as well earlier. So I'll make sure to notate that again.
They come from, and no offense, they come from Georgia, they come from Alabama, they come from West Florida, and they converge on wherever there's a storm.
Gotcha.
And that's part of the business. I get it. It's ambulance teams chasing. These guys do it. I get it. I've done it. I've been doing this thing 20 years. But there's comfort with a homeowner. Do you own a home?
I do not.
Okay. If you did, you would have comfort with someone coming in to do work on your home that is either down the street from you. If he calls you or you call them at 2 a.m, they can have someone there to help you out. So that's a big thing for us.
Sure. And I think that's a huge selling point. You're like, yeah, we're literally right down the road. We'll be there in 10 minutes.
And we have a major presence with our.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I've seen your office. I've actually been up there a couple of times when I was in the area. So that's good. Yeah, I mean, I think that definitely is a huge selling point. Next question. Oh, sure.
Yeah, that we need to really focus on.
I'm sorry, it broke up. I heard we need to focus on.
That we really need to focus on.
I got you. Okay. Then who would you say your biggest 3 competitors are in the area?
I would say Total Home Roofing.
I've already seen them, so yep, I was going to agree with that.
Maybe G&G, but G&G does a lot of commercial. I think what's seen out there lately. Mostly Total Home. Maybe Hippo.
Hippo used to be, but Hippo's really good.
Hippo and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but they're kind
I can give you. I can give you one.
Sure.
Total Home. I think Total Home's the biggest competitor.
Yep.
To us.
They're also one of the top ranking search results I see. What about Renew Pro Roofing?
Yeah, they're out there. I don't see much, but I know they have a big presence in the marketing field.
Yep.
That's a stormer that came in from Texas after Irma hit 2016. Oh, I'm sorry, Matthew hit 20.
Gotcha.
So they came in and set up shop. So Renew Pro. What other ones are popping up?
Let's see. G&G, like you said. You guys, and who's running your PPC ads? You do know you guys have Google ads running, right?
Yeah, I did that.
Oh, you do that?
Well, I did that. Is it still going?
Yep, it's still going.
Oh.
I'm looking at it right now. But if that's something you wanted to get rid of, that's something I could obviously help you out with in the future.
Well, why would we get rid of that?
No, you wouldn't. You would. I honestly would. That's, part of what I would suggest you guys do. But I would actually suggest there's ways that you could optimize the campaign. You guys actually come up in the number 2 spot on maps, which is good. But on search results, you guys are more towards the bottom of search results and page 2 of search results, which we all know nobody goes to page 2 really. And most people don't make it down to the bottom of the page. Your goal with PPC ads is to make it in the first top 3. And that's the only thing we're currently not seeing from those campaigns.
Okay.
Yeah. So those, and again, I would never, with what your business does, SEO and PPC are the 2 main traffic drivers for your business. And if you can remain in the top of search results for paid ads and for organic search results, basically showing up in the map section, you will dominate that local area every single time. It's what every business focus, at least from a professional service, and in my experience, and just through trial and error and literally seeing these results happen, if you can dominate organic and paid search results on Google for your type of service, you will dominate that entire area. And that's what I mean by starting small and growing big. We would dominate first Cocoa, Rockledge, the surrounding areas immediately in your local area for organic and paid search. From there, we start to branch out into those surrounding areas like Melbourne, Titusville, and all of the areas that are just a little bit further away.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just noticed you were running ads. I was like, oh, okay, he's got an ads manager. And then, Jamie mentioned that you had somebody that was managing social, but I don't think that she's going to have, if anything, I think it's great that you guys are posting. I mean, it keeps content fresh on the page and lets them know that you're active, which is great.
Right.
And that takes some of the less important stuff off of my plate, which allows me to focus on ad campaigns and really optimization.
I'm going to keep her going no matter, what we do with you. So
that's great. No, I think that's a great strategy for you to do.
And actually, she's really good at what
I
she
was just
does.
gonna say, she's easy to work with. Like whatever you tell her or you think you need, she's really easy going about that kind of stuff. She'll definitely work with you.
So is that what she does full time? Is just the social management?
No, she does something else too. I can't remember.
That's her job for other companies.
Oh yeah, she does it for a bunch of other companies.
Okay.
That's kind of like her whole thing she does at home. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, what I would do is I would send her access to one of my training programs that she could use to learn a little bit more if she wanted. So that way she could even grow her own business.
I think she'd be open to
she
that.
would love that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then again, it makes it easier for us to work together because I don't have to explain things. She just already knows it. And I'll be like, hey, you can do this. And she's like, oh yeah, cool. Let's do it. So that makes the relationship a lot more symbiotic.
All right. So Jordan, what's the next step now?
So I just want to get a couple more numbers from you. I'm not even going to go through the rest of it. I want to know what monthly sales targets are like. And then honestly, I can just stop with that. But I already have everything put together on what you need to be doing to really start getting those results that I'm talking about. And what I'll do is set up again, another meeting with you. This one will be a Zoom call. And what I'll do is I'll be able to share my screen, show you all of the information that I found, things where you aren't getting the results that you want. And then I can even give you the proposal that day and we can get you started as soon as that day. But again, before I could do that, I do want to put together an audit to show you where all of these things are kind of lacking. So it starts to make a little more sense as to why you're not doing 3 times the amount of business you could probably be doing than you're probably doing right now. So What are your monthly sales targets currently? Like, what are you doing and what's your goal?
So again, that goes up and down.
Okay.
And our peak, we were doing, I don't know, we were doing 3 million a month.
Okay.
Maybe 4 million a month in top.
Right.
Right now we're probably at 1 million, maybe 750.
Okay. So that's in like slower times.
Yeah. So if we do, trying to think. So if we do $1 million a month, that's 12 million a year. Maybe less than that. So we're probably averaging about 10 million a year in total.
And that's what I was going to ask next is what is your annual sales revenue? So about 10.
About 10 million in a good year, 15 to 16.
Okay, good to know. Because what that helps me determine is I don't want to, 2 things. I don't want to give you anything you don't need to pay for. I don't like to charge people because that just looks bad on me. And business owners these days are not stupid. Back in the day, I would watch so many people sell marketing campaigns to people that they did not need. So I don't want to sell you anything you don't need. Also, it helps me determine something super important, which is your ad budget. So what do you know what you're currently spending per month on ad campaigns on Google? Do you know about how much you're spending?
It would be under 1,000.
Under 1,000? And see, that's where we would want to, take a look at it because of the fact that your cost for the job is more expensive than the amount of money that than the amount of money that you're spending, but the ratio is a little off. If we were to increase that ad budget 3 to 4 times, due to the fact that your your price point of your product is so much more expensive, you would start to see a lot better result because you're reaching more people and you're also getting that number 1 position. I guarantee you, if I were to look at, who is this right here? If I were to look at GW Roofing or roofingincorporated.com, those guys are probably spending about $3 to $5 grand a month on just PPC ads. But I guarantee you that it's producing results for them because here's the thing. If I land 2 jobs and I spend $5 grand, I've already made your money back plus profit.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So that's the thing. They're in the top 2 results. They're getting at least and I don't know specifically for the Brevard County area or whatever, but I would bet that they're probably getting anywhere from 5 to 10 appointments and contracts per month just from ranking in the top 2 results, because that is how important that position is. And with the budget that they're probably spending, that's what's allowing them to stay at the top every single time. I've done 4 different searches for roofers or roofing in Rockledge, and every single time it's these 2 companies that are at the top of search results. But anyways, that's another conversation that we need to have when I show you what the plan kind of looks like altogether, because it makes it make more sense. So we won't get into that right now, but next steps, essentially, I can send you over everything that I've looked at, but it doesn't make sense for me to do it because there's a lot on here that you might not understand because it's just marketing lingo. That unless you do what I do, you just won't understand it. But again, that's why I want to put together an audit for you. And then from there, again, I will also put together a proposal that we can go into that shows you what this process will cost like, but also what it will look like, timeframes, things like that. You do have a more complex marketing campaign, which honestly, these are the kind of campaigns I love to work with because they take a lot more thought and strategy. But I would say I want at least a week to put together everything that I'm going to want to present to you. So if possible, next Wednesday or Thursday, which one of those 2 days would work best for you to have and this one will be a little bit longer, about an hour and a half.
Wednesdays are much better than Tuesdays for me.
Okay, Wednesday, that's perfectly fine. And again, this one is going to be about an hour and a half, possibly even 2 hours. If we get to the point where you're wanting to sign the contract and get everything going, it will be a longer meeting.
What I do is I'll probably sit in my office and Tammy will be in there and we'll just sit there and go over everything.
Sure. And I will try to make it as short and concise as possible, but when you're spending a lot of money, it makes sense to sit there and really understand what you're going to be spending that money on. And I want you guys to feel completely comfortable through that entire process.
Okay. No, that's good for us too.
So what email would you prefer that I send? I'm going to send you a calendar invite that you can obviously put on your calendar. I don't currently have one. All I have is your cell phone number. All right, so I'm going to send you guys both over a email here shortly after I get off this call. I'll send you over an email that has the time and date. Actually, we didn't go over a time. What time works best for you?
On Wednesday, I would say somewhere between 9 and 10.
9 and 10 a.m.?
Yep.
All right. I was about to say, if you guys want to be some night walkers, we can do that, but
I'll be watching hockey.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised that isn't it at 1-1?
Yeah, it's 1-1. So
yeah, it's crazy that it's freaking Tampa and Dallas, like two southern states or cities are in the Stanley Cup. It's insane.
I know.
But yeah, I think it's going to be a really great series though. No. All right, cool. So I'm going to send over these emails. For now, I will let you guys go, but I look forward to talking to you.
Hey, listen, it was really good talking to you. You enlightened us a lot on certain things. And, I think we're going to have a good relationship.
Yeah, man, I think it'll be definitely beneficial for both of us. Obviously, if I can bring you more customers and increase that bottom line, obviously you will be happy, which makes me happy. So again, I look forward to talking to y'all both. Tammy, nice to meet you as well. I look forward to talking to y'all both on Wednesday at around 9 a.m.
All right, sounds good. See you, buddy. Have a good night.
Yep, you too. Bye. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how it's done. Get all the questions in, get them super excited. And then the goal from there is just to get them on a call. And the reason why I'm doing an audit and proposal, because I usually don't do it in that approach, but I kind of have done the audit already. So I already know what I'm looking at with the company. And really, so that's why I wanted to sit down today and just go through a discovery call and figure out what their goals were and understand the business and understand the business owner and what was really important to them. That's the entire point of asking all of these questions. I didn't even ask all the questions. I could tell he was getting antsy. I think I had like 6 left that I didn't get to, but I can get to that on a different call. And I can get to that if I sign him as a client. But I got the most important information that I needed to be able to develop an audit and a campaign that was going to make him happy ultimately. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. But before you get out of here, if you want to learn how to do what I just did, it is actually really easy when you get the right training and the right practice. Anything that you need is right below in the description. We have our Digital Marketing School 2.0. That is the #1 program out there teaching people how to start a marketing agency. Outside of that, we have our Done With You agency program. This is where my agency literally works with you to help you build your agency so that way you get it done in 2 to 3 months instead of 8 to 12 months like it takes the average agency owner or new agency owner to do. That way, you're able to make $10,000 to $20,000 per month in 2 to 3 months instead of 8 to 12, right? We want to make that money as soon as possible, but to do that, you have to have the right training and systems in place, and that's why this program has been so successful for our students. But that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys on the next one. Until then, Serial Entrepreneur out. Bye, guys.
Ready to start living the six-figure work wherever, be your own boss lifestyle? Well, at Serial Entrepreneur Academy, we'll teach you how to use a laptop and internet to start your own social media and digital marketing agency. Get started with our free Facebook ads training. Links in the description below, guys. See you in the course. Serial Entrepreneur out.